I'm Hailey.
I'm Sean.
And welcome to Hailey Hates Everything.
I pick a surprise topic.
And I get high and opinionated so we can discuss it together.
So grab a snack and hang out with us for
Hailey Hates Everything. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your friend Hailey, and I am joined by my sidekick Sean.
Hey, what's happening?
And we welcome you back to the show. This is our mini episode, and we're going to talk about some cartoon shit. So I'm pretty excited. We have a couple of different cartoons that we watched that I think we kind of mentioned in the last podcast. I don't know if I cut out the He-Man stuff or not. Spoiler alert. One of them's He-Man. And I know I left the Luke Skywalker stuff in. Mark Hamill plays Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill is the voice of Skeletor in He-Man. So it does track back, even if I left out the He-Man stuff.
Well, not to give spoilers, but we don't even know if the He-Man show's about He-Man. It's called Masters of the Universe Revelations.
Okay, well, can we just settle down?
You're the one who was getting into the shows already.
No, I'm just trying to do an overview of what we're talking about and why. And then there was another show that Sean decided to show me, and it's crazy. Okay, so these things I feel are like on the other side of it. We saw little baby kid shows.
Yep.
Now we're seeing big baby kid shows. Now these are more serious, more...
Definitely.
I don't know, grown-up versions. They're nothing like what we watched in the last episode. So we thought that would be fun for the mini episode. And then, of course, we have our 2 new segments, and we're going to get to those as well. So
Yeah.
I am excited to start the show. Anything you want to add before we get started, Sean?
I don't think so. I was gonna, before we get on to new stuff, I was gonna see if you had any follow-up stuff for the previous episode.
I don't think I had any notes for that. I still haven't looked at my My Little Ponies. They're still in the garage. Haven't had a chance. I will post photos when I do it. Didn't hear from anybody if they had watched the Bratz Babies movie or Winx Club. Again, if you're listening to this later on and you have something to say about it, you want to add to the conversation, you want to let me know that you watched those and they're crazy, please go ahead. Email us, message me, hop into the DMs. We will see it. Someone did leave a comment, so I posted the picture of the little Bratz babies going to the potty. That's at the beginning of the thing. I posted it on Instagram. And someone did comment that it looked even worse than they had imagined it. So there you go. Go check out the Instagram. You can see a picture of these Bratz babies going potty.
Yeah.
It was frightening. It was unexpected.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I did have one follow-up on the kind of, I don't know, times are a-changing a little bit, and that is that Barbie now has some curvier dolls.
Oh, yeah.
The Barbie Fashionista line.
Oh, she got a little booty.
Yeah.
Okay.
She got a little something going on there. It's part of a whole Barbie set of diverse dolls, including differently abled, like one's in a wheelchair.
I'm glad they put her in a cute outfit, too.
Yeah, true. Well, Ken, I don't know, wheelchair Ken, they didn't give him any a good outfit, I don't think.
Well, yeah.
and it's
I'm feeling,
what color is his wheelchair?
I'm feeling the 80s vibes of their outfits, though. It's very, 80s, early 90s. I feel like I had clothes that looked similar when I was a kid, and I'm into that. In fact, the Barbies that I still have, they might have clothes that look like that. I do have a bin full of Barbies, too, you guys, and I'm going to have to go through that as well. I want them to make a real fat Barbie.
Yeah, they're not
They
gonna
can
do
use
that.
my body as a proportion model. I'll pose for the new plus-size Barbie, like a real fat Barbie. Instead of a Bratz baby body, I want a curvy Barbie body. I feel like I'm talking really loud. Am I?
I think you're doing fine. The levels look good.
Also, she's only $10? That seems cheap for a Barbie.
That's true.
Because I tell you what, the New Kids concert dolls, they were like $25. All right, it took me over a month to save my allowance to get one of them. Don't ask me what I had to do for the Lynn Goldsmith book. I had to beg My mother. We were at this store called Play in Savannah, and I had heard of the Lynn Goldsmith book. I'm talking about New Kids, you guys. And I'd heard about it. I'd never seen it. We went to a bookstore just for shits and giggles. I checked the New Kids section. I mean, the music section, but I always looked for New Kids. And the Lynn Goldsmith book was there. And I think it was like $30, which was insanely expensive to me as a 16-year-old who had been looking for this book for years at that point, I think. And oh man, I only had $15 on me. I had to beg. I started crying because I wanted that book so bad.
Yeah.
And my mom agreed uncharacteristically. And I had to do so many dishes and like vacuum the car multiple times and all this stuff just to get just to pay off the difference
15
that I owed. Yeah. Yeah. But I got the book and I still have the book. It's safely upstairs in my Kmart New Kids on the Block cubicle locker thing that was $18, and at that time hella expensive to me. And again, I saved up and I got it because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I knew how to save, I'll tell you what. Later on, all my allowance money would go to blank VHS tapes so I could record stuff off the TV, and Teen Beat and Big Bopper and Teeny Bop magazines like that, because they all had posters of the New Kids in them.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
New Kids tangent.
Are we on to new business?
Yeah, sure.
So, the first thing I made Haley watch was on
Okay, can I stop you there for a second?
Uh-huh.
Why do you do a different voice when you're talking for the podcast?
I'm trying to do a podcast voice.
No.
This is my usual laugh.
No.
This is how I usually talk.
If that was how you usually talked, and if that was how you usually laughed, you would have murdered me ages ago. Because you would have been a crazy, insane clown. And if you sounded like that, I wouldn't have dated you in the first place. Because I knew you would murder me one day.
Indeed.
So please don't ever do that again. It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. Okay, so you were saying. Oh, no, I was saying. Rewind. I was saying your voice changes when you're talking on the podcast. And it's really obvious to me when I edit the podcast. And you're like, you're doing the like, it spreads out. It like, what do they call that? Oh, shit.
I don't know.
It has a name, and it's something that the Kardashians do a lot. It's this thing you do. You're like, why can't I replicate it? I don't know. It's that. It's like, really? You spread it out somehow at the end, and it's all gravelly, and yeah, you change your voice. And it goes lower, and you get quieter, which you don't need to get more quiet.
Okay.
That was, I don't like that one either. I noticed it last time, and I don't know why you do that, and it's really strange.
All right. Now I'm not going to know what I talk like. I don't know.
Just relax, take a deep breath, and just be Sean.
Okay. So I made Haley watch Masters of the Universe Revelations on Netflix.
Yes, you did. And I took, again, pages of notes.
It is a TV PG rated one, so it's not straight up adult, but it is by Kevin Smith.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, always wears jerseys and wears clothes that are way too big for him. That Kevin Smith?
Correct.
Oh,
from
Mallrats
Clerks,
Kevin Smith.
Mallrats.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it's got like a pretty star-studded voice cast and everything.
It does, yeah. Lena Headey, Cersei Lannister is in it, or is a voice in it. Was it Elisa Silverstone? Where's on my list of people?
Yep, she is the queen, I believe.
Oh, yeah, Elisa Silverstone.
Yes.
Diedrich Bader is the king. Oh, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is Tila. Yep. And like I said earlier, Mark Hamill is Skeletor, and he always does a good voice for these types of things. I mean, he's done so much voice work now. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
So what did you think of it?
Do we want like an overview, and then we kind of get into it a little bit? This is a spoiler-free one.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll talk about it, and then we'll say now we're going into spoilers, just in case people want to watch it, and then come back to this.
Sounds good.
All right. So this one is spoiler free. We're just going to give you an overall review.
Yep.
And then we'll tell you when the spoilers will start.
Okay.
All right. So what did I think about it?
Yes.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
I actually
okay.
really enjoyed it. I don't think it's like amazeballs.
Yeah.
Although, I mean that I enjoy the actors that are in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only one episode that we've seen. We're just covering, it's just the surface right now because not a lot has happened. Well, sort of. But I enjoyed the animation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. It was a little more, it was less flat than like old school animation.
The intro, like little video, not a montage, but like summary thing, kind of had a flat look, you know, kind of like bringing in the past and what's kind of going on and everything.
That's true. It was almost like it was layers moving,
Yeah.
like a diorama or something, you know, just like this sort of 3D, but they were flat pieces or something. Yeah, that was interesting. Then when you get into the actual show, the animation, there were some of the backgrounds and stuff with the depth of field, but those looked kind of flat. But the actual character that was talking or whatever looked more rounded in that world or whatever. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. All the like the old school characters, they didn't suddenly introduce a whole shitload of new characters or whatever.
Yeah, so we meet the Empress. We meet, I think that's her name, Sorceress of Grayskull.
Yeah.
We meet Skeletor, of course. We meet Tila and Man-at-Arms and Adam, Evelyn,
Cringer,
and Orko, you guys.
Orko. Hey, I liked Orko.
I do like Orko. We meet everybody, and I tell you what. So, also, I'm high, and we started watching it when I was like, it was really kicking in, and I tell you what, it was trippy as fuck. I had an out of body experience.
Oh my!
Watching the intro, I was transported back to my childhood living room. Pick one. I lived in a million houses when I was a kid. Back to the living room, eating cereal with my brother, watching cartoons in the morning. Just things are simple. I didn't have to worry about shit, you know, before all the real bad shit happened. And it was so weird. It was so weird because I literally felt like a child as I'm watching it happen, and I almost teared up.
Oh, wow.
I almost did. I really liked it. It was really cool to see it, you know? And I don't remember much about the actual cartoon. I know that I watched it and I enjoyed it. I loved She-Ra. Like I think I talked about in the last episode, I had the She-Ra and the Pegasus, and my brother had the He-Man stuff, and he had the Castle Grayskull, and you know, we really enjoyed that. Like we enjoyed Dino Riders, which was another cartoon, and so he had all the dinosaurs and the little guys and stuff. And I was like a dinosaur nerd. I don't know if people know this about me. When I was a kid, I fucking loved dinosaurs. I thought they were the coolest thing. I was obsessed with dinosaurs in ancient Egypt. And so I got to play Dino Riders with my brother. It was one of the only times we got along. Yeah. So I really loved Dino Riders and dinosaurs. But I also loved He-Man and She-Ra. And so when we were watching the intro, it was just like, oh my God, this is just insane.
Because I mean, they kind of kept like the same styles, the outfits and everything. You know?
Everybody looks like you would picture them to look.
Yeah, there's maybe some slight changes here and there and stuff, but I mean, a lot of it's upgraded animation. But you know what they're wearing, what they look like, is a lot like pretty much exactly like it was when we were kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. Now we can get into spoilers. Excuse me. Spoiler time. This is for spoilers. Spoilers are about to happen. If you want to watch Masters of the Universe Revelations on Netflix without spoilers, then now's the time to do it. Because we are about to talk about Masters of the Universe Revelations with spoilers. Okay. Adding on to what we've already said, I thought the animation was cool. I mean, this is already stuff we've gone over. I was tripping out at the beginning. Castle Grayskull looks like you imagine it looking. Like, it was really crazy. And I had forgotten about Cringer. And maybe that's because I'm very much like Cringer.
Nowadays, I would not say you're like Cringer.
Really?
No.
I guess that's how I feel inside.
Okay. I get that.
My anxiety makes me feel like Cringer on the inside, so I
Yeah.
very much relate to him. And I guess I love Orko so much because I would want to be more like Orko. He's got magic. He can do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just flying around. He doesn't have to walk anywhere. He's just flying around. He's got the little hat.
True.
And his face is all blacked out. He's just eyes. And as I've said, Donnie Wahlberg thinks my eyes are irresistible. The rest of my face doesn't have to be there. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have to do my makeup every day. It would just be in there. I could show it whenever I wanted to, but I didn't have to show it every day, you know? I don't know. He's got the little turtleneck. But anyway.
I liked how like they started out the series kind of like with Empire Strikes Back, essentially. Kind of like the ending of Empire Strikes Back is how they started the series. I thought that was a nice, fresh, like, way to get into it.
Yeah.
Of course, we're in the spoiler part here. Essentially, He-Man and Skeletor appear to have been destroyed at the end of the episode. Teela's like, everybody has lied to her that Adam was He-Man, and she's just like, she's done.
Well, I don't even know. We're jumping way ahead. I don't even know how she didn't know. That makes no sense to me. It's a Clark Kent Superman situation. They look the same. They look the same.
Well, one's massively larger than the other.
Yeah, but come on. They still got the same face and everything. We'll get to that. But yeah, at the end, Teela's like, fuck all of y'all. My life is fucked. And it was a better look for her when she took the tiara off. I liked her hair down.
Yeah, hair down. Yeah, she looked great.
Because just like the hair up, her body is so built. Like, she is ripped.
True.
Her head looked way too small. When the hair's down and it's more voluminous, your head looks more proportioned to your body.
Yeah.
So, why do you think I like my hair so big? Proportion to my body. The more volume, the better, please. When we first see Adam, aka He-Man, he's in regular form.
Yeah.
And he looks like he just got back from the salon. He's like, what's up, bitches? That's basically how he comes into the show. And I was like, nuh-uh. Because I forgot he had to do a whole, like, werewolf transition to get into He-Man form. I forgot about that. I was like, this guy?
I don't think you're ever going to forget about the transition now.
Oh, no. We'll talk about it. Anyway, we see Skeletor, and he's become something else. And then he gets hit in the stomach, and I thought that was pretty funny. It was basically the balls. And it made me laugh because he went flying. Also, I didn't know that Adam had an abusive father who was, like, really pissy with him.
Yeah.
That was weird to me. He was like, I wish I could ever be proud of you. And I was just like, damn, this guy. Also, I don't remember animal people being in it before.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they were introduced in later seasons or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I think at this point, they kind of like took in the things from all the other seasons because it feels like there's a lot more technology too, maybe. They got like lasers and hover bikes and all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of things, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are these animal people like cats and dogs and horses just walking around. And I just did not remember that because I would have loved that as a kid. I loved animals that could talk. I mean, I still do. I still fucking do. Babe is amazing. Still love it. Bah ram you! Bah ram you! Oh, anyway, that's what I would say to all the sheep in Scotland, by the way.
Yes.
I would say it out the window.
Yep, she did. She did.
And my goodbye greeting to them was, "Bah ram you, friends." And they just stared at me like I was insane. So animal people, cool. And then we see Adam transition into He-Man. He holds up the sword and everything. And they had some inside jokes at first where he was saying he had the power. And I was like, oh my God. But he did it. He did the whole thing. And they showed some cheek. They went all around his body. The air flew up as his loincloth was being put on him. They showed some side booty. And this is when I thought that I really want to see a live action version where Henry Cavill plays He-Man. I think it would be chef's kiss. It would be great.
You just let us see him in the outfit. That's it.
I do. That's the best part.
I don't think he'd ever go for that haircut, though. I mean,
No, he can have a wig.
But just
they make
that
good
hair,
wigs. They have to change it. No, Not the little medieval boy, page boy haircut thing. They would need to do something a little bit messier, a little bit
Yeah.
more like he has in this show. I feel like regular Adam has a more decent haircut, but
Okay.
he is very blonde. And then when he turns into He-Man, he's very ripped, he's very tan, and his hair is a little more Tarzan-like. It's just shorter.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like they could do that in a way that would please Henry's face instead of doing like a really blunt page boy kind of penis cut, you know?
It is. It's yeah.
Yeah, and as regular Adam, he was way too chiseled and way too thin. It was really odd. That threw me off, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like this. But when he turns into He-Man, I mean, he's basically just a tank. I don't remember him talking that much.
True.
But Cringer, I forgot that Cringer goes through his whole ripped situation, and
Yeah.
he's just like, yeah, he's growling, he's into it. But I also wonder why the loincloth? Like, what is his nationality? What are we to believe he is? Where does his ancestors come from? Why this outfit?
It's a whole created world. I mean, going into like Castle Grayskull and the power of Eternia and that orb thing created all of Eternia and all of the universe, and
Yeah, but why the loincloth? Because nobody else is wearing anything like that.
that's just what Castle Grayskull prefers him to be like. I mean, maybe the power of Castle Grayskull's like, just I don't know.
A horn dog?
Yeah.
Do you think I seem too much like a horn dog on the podcast?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Then we meet Evil Lynn, who is voiced by Lena Headey, who is Cersei Lannister. And I was also trying to cast this in the live action form the entire time. So like Henry Cavill as He-Man / Adam.
Okay.
I was thinking more Angelina Jolie-like for Evil Lynn.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think she could really pull that off.
That's true.
And then I'll get to the other ones in a little bit. Also, here the deal with Skeletor. Is he a skeleton really? Does he just have a skeleton? Because he has a really buff body. He might be blue, but he's very buff, but no face. How can you have a body and no face? Like, he's just bone, and then does he have flesh? What is his covering?
I mean, like, his face has just been peeled off, basically. But somehow magic works and stuff. I don't know. This is a whole different universe and everything.
I know, but I'm just wondering, what are the rules of the universe? Because for that to exist in real life, and these, like, monster people and giant robots, and then there's magic, like, what shenanigans are happening here to create this? What are the rules? Is there gravity? Do they just not have that? Do they breathe in oxygen? What is their deal? Do you understand? Is this an Earth-like planet? I mean, there were trees and stuff. Do most things work like here, but it's also slightly different? Or how can you just not have skin on your face? You're just a blank canvas with a black background with a hood on?
Magic.
And why a sheep's head staff that actually moves somehow? Why that? Is it supposed to be demonic?
I don't know, Haley. I haven't researched the origin, who created He-Man and all of that, what they thought.
I want to
it would
know
be about.
more about how the universe works. I need the science behind this to make it, more.
How does he turn from Adam into He-Man?
And also, are we to believe that the sorceress is Tila's mom? Because she made a big deal about being adopted, but this bitch was there all along? Like, is that...
I mean, that seemed to be what they seem to be,
That seemed to be what they seemed to be,
That seemed to be what they're trying to intimate.
Are you sure you're not high? Because you seem high.
No, I'm not high.
There's a whole bunch of shit happening. Eternia is going to be destroyed. There's a shaft of laser light energy that's running everything. And Skeletor wants to get at it, and there's a big fight. And then Adam shows up, and I guess they never knew he was He-Man. Or no, He-Man shows up.
Yeah.
He's trying to get things right. He turns into Adam. Now he's just a little shriveled boy like Captain America before he became Captain America. And they're like, oh, he's a child. What's his age supposed to be?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Because they're just like, he's a boy, he's a boy. I'm like, no, not that guy at the beginning. He's in his 30s. He has a sword and he's trying to stop this light. And he's just being like energized to death. And it seemed like he had an orgasm to me anyway. I specifically remember asking you if he just came.
Yes.
Because that's what it seemed like.
Well, this Wikipedia says that Prince Adam was 16.
16?
Yeah.
No, that man was in his 30s.
Well, He-Man. Yeah, when he converts into He-Man.
Okay, that creates another layer. This is a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah. It's kind of like Shazam, you know? Shazam was a boy, turns into Zachary Levi, a man.
That's some psychological fuckery going on with this guy then. Because, I mean, he acted like he was 30, but he's 16 apparently. And then he has the power to become a 40-year-old ripped-ass dude just to, like, protect people. And you know, people are going to want to be all over him. If anybody ever saw him, they'd be like, yes, let me get on that. And so he's got all of these people throwing themselves at him, I'm sure. He's riding around on a jacked cat. Like, that's every boy's fantasy. Anytime I want to, I can stroke my sword and say, I have the power. And from 16, I go to 40, and I'm like fucking hot. I'm like Fabio back in the 80s. And I'm riding a jacked-ass cat? Yes, please. Sign me up. That's what every boy would say. He's going to say, yes. More of that. Every day I want that.
Yep.
This kid needs therapy. He needs someone pulling him back down to earth before he rides off in the sunset on this jacked-ass kitty. I'm serious. Orko cannot hold all of that for him. No boy can hold that responsibility. So anyway, Skeletor and He-Man, poof, gone. They're gone. He-Man, dust in the wind. Tila's like, what the fuck? Apparently she didn't know.
Yep, she didn't know.
And we need to go over who knew and who didn't know. Because I have that written down here because it was really confusing to me. So his dad didn't know.
No. In the very beginning, in the 2D thing, they specifically said that Orko, Men-at-Arms, Cringer, and the Sorceress knew. And then later, they kind of revealed that his mom knew.
And Cringer did know. He wasn't forced into jacked kitty cat form.
I think that's kind of debatable. I mean, he knew, but like he would run away when he knew it was coming.
That's true. They didn't have his consent.
Yeah, I don't feel like he consented
Poor
to it.
Cringer. Poor Cringer. I feel like he enjoyed his Battle Kitty time, though.
Yeah.
Because he did have a different state of mind then. He was confident. Whereas he's basically an Eeyore in tiger form. Which I would argue, me.
Would you... All right, let's posit this.
Mm-hmm.
If I, like, made you snort a line of Coke before we went out, would you feel like that's how you'd want to be?
Okay. When you put it that way. No, that's still not okay. That's not okay.
Okay. I'm ready to go now. Let's go.
All right, I get what you're saying. I get it. Poor Cringer. Poor Cringer. He didn't ask for this life. He just wanted to cower in a corner somewhere. So then we find out who knew and who didn't know via Men-at-Arms, who now doesn't have his penis helmet on. Looks much better.
True.
So who would we cast as the different people? Who would Tila be? Because I couldn't figure that one out.
Yeah. Now that Gina Carano's out of the picture.
Yeah, she's not allowed.
Yeah.
I don't know who would work for that. Skeletor. Who's going to be Skeletor?
Well, he can be CGI. I mean, he's going to have to be CGI, really.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, I mean, he could stay Mark Hamill.
Okay. Or Gollum guy.
Yeah, true.
What's his name? Andy Serkis.
There you go.
Yes. Gollum. So then, let's see, we cast Evil Lynn. What about the sorceress? I was thinking Susan Sarandon.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a nice one.
Yeah. I liked that.
Interesting.
What about Man-at-Arms? Who would be him? Everybody had jacked bodies and tiny ass heads, though. That was an issue for me. I don't like tiny heads. It bothers me. If your head's too tiny for your body, no. Same if your head's too big for your body. That's also a problem. I just don't like it. I try to make sure my head is proportioned to my body at all times because I don't like it either way. So we already talked about the cast and how awesome they are. Bear McCreary does the music, which I was so excited about when I saw it because he does the music. He did the music for Battlestar Galactica, Outlander, which I fucking love. I restarted it again from the beginning. Anyway, Bear does all the music for that.
What was the pirate one on Stars?
Oh, Black Sails.
Black Sails.
Black Sails. I mean, he's done so much.
Yeah.
He's so fantastic. I fucking love him. And I don't know much about music, but I've seen videos of him talking about how he does the music. It is fascinating and so fun to watch him talk about it because he's so into it.
Oh, yeah.
He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's so into it. It excites him and it's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the awesomeness of Bear McCreary talking about music, I'm sure there's interviews and stuff on YouTube. It's so much fun to watch. But he does the music for this, and I was just like, oh my god, now I'm totally in. I liked it. I really liked it.
So does that mean you go continue watching?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I'm into it.
All right, shall we move on to the next animated show?
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
All right.
Because I know jack shit about it.
It's on Netflix as well. It's called Beastars, one word. I mainly chose it because it's like, well, for one, Hailey mentioned she loves, in the last episode, she likes shows about high school.
Oh, okay.
Check. It's about high school. She does like animal people.
Mm-hmm.
Check. But it's an odd genre. So it's TVMA. It's an adult anime show about animal people in high school, specifically about a drama club, but it's also a murder mystery. And there's sexual tension somewhat, and also tension about the carnivores eating the herbivores.
Yeah. And can I say, if I had to draw things out of a hat that I would love together, this kind of sounds like something I would like. Now that see, when I watched it, I wasn't sure what to make of it. But when you explain it, I'm like, oh, I should like this.
Yeah, on paper, this seems like a show that you would be into.
Yeah. I'm like, why didn't I write that? That's what I was thinking when you were explaining it. Why didn't I think of that? Dang it. So I did watch it. And if you're scrolling through Netflix and you see it, it looks like it's going to be a cartoon animal porn. It has that vibe about it. And I specifically, when Sean flipped to it, he started giggling and looking at me funny. And I said, is this a cartoon animal porn? And he started laughing harder and said, not exactly. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is it then? Because that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you have a direct answer for me? So I didn't see any adult content necessarily on this first episode. Have you been watching more episodes?
I watched the first season.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I've watched some of the second season, and I think at some point, like I think you see that dwarf rabbit girl like in her underwear. I don't think it goes further than that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. But there is that vibe.
Yeah.
So whoever voices the wolf, hot voice. I'm into the wolf. And I've seen people talk about, like, is it weird or somehow wrong if a woman is attracted to an animal cartoon character? And I don't think that's wrong because it's about the vibe.
Yeah.
You know? Like Justin from Secret and Nim. That rat, oh man. I was really into that rat. He was hot. He was so kind. And he truly wanted to help. And I really liked him.
Yeah.
I thought Justin was great. Also, Robin Hood from the Disney one. Where they're
where
foxes.
He's the fox.
Yeah. I liked him too. Same vibe.
Yeah.
Same vibe. So those are the two I can think of right off the bat. So whoever voiced the wolf, hot voice, loved it, great. And we'll get into him in a little bit. The music was very dramatic at the beginning.
True.
When there's some chase scene going on, somebody's gonna get hurt, and I liked the dramatic music. I thought it sounded really good. It added a lot. The animation was trippy for me. So I was already high. And it was really weird because it was like the texture of the walls behind everything. Like they're at a school, there's a brick building, there's a wooden door. The backgrounds looked real. Yeah, they looked like real pictures. They had a real texture to them. But the animal characters were animated, like completely. They looked like, okay, it was a weird kind of 3D animation kind of thing happening with the animal people.
I think shows like this are like, I believe they are essentially like 3D characters. They move them around a space like in what would happen with like actual 3D things, but then they just render it kind of like 2D sort of is I believe is like how these modern ones are done, I believe.
Because a lot of the way the shading and everything is done, they look rounded.
Yeah.
They have that look about them. It almost looks like they filmed it with people and then just covered the people with these sort of flat animated characters that kind of look rounded, you know?
Yeah.
Like it had that look about it to me, where they're kind of moving in a way that people would kind of move. It was really trippy. It was also kind of like if they were very large, like character costumes or puppets that people were wearing.
Yeah.
It had that kind of look, kind of like from an 80s kids show or something. This sort of costume or puppet that was being moved but made into cartoon form. It was crazy to me to just like stare at the character moving and everything. It was freaking me out. Let's see. So I don't have a lot written down until we get more into the wolf, and his name is Legoshi.
Yep, you got it.
And he looks like a straight up creeper, and he is creeping on this alpaca girl who like, and I think he seems so creepy and calm because everybody else is kind of anxious and agitated.
Yeah.
When I see myself in the characters that are acting all anxious, it makes me want to be calmer.
Yeah.
It kind of like helps me try to be calm and cool and collected. So yeah, he just shows up, right? And I got really mad because I thought he was creeping on the alpaca girl and he wanted to hit on her. And he's like twice as tall as her. And you know I don't like tall guys with short girls. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. No, just no. I'm not even going to get into it. But the wolf was giving me John Krasinski vibes.
Okay.
Which I like. It was more like if John Krasinski was kind of slow. He was just this tall, lanky, slow teenager.
Okay, yeah.
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
That's what it was giving me. And so then we're introduced to a very upstanding kind of preppy deer who is the badass king of the school. Now, hear me out. This is when I realized that this whole thing had been written by a drama nerd. Like someone low on the totem pole. Someone that barely got parts. This is who wrote this. Because the deer, who is the king of the school, he runs the whole thing. He's the head bitch in charge. He is the king of the drama club. And everybody knows how amazing the drama club is and how they all run the school. And I was like, oh, they wish. Because guess what? I was in the drama club. I was vice president of the drama club in middle school. So I know that someone in the drama club wrote this because that's how we wanted it to be, and it never was. This is just like high hopes, okay? He's so cool that one of the girls in the school has his poster on her wall, like an actual poster. And then we're introduced to this slutty little bunny who gave me kind of Elliot Page vibes or Kristen Bell. She's very plain, but she's that plain kind of girl who is somehow slutty and like she just fucks around a lot. Like somehow people find her attractive, but she's like so plain, you know, that kind.
Yeah.
That's kind of who she reminds me of. And we get some rabbit racism There's a big rabbit, like a taller rabbit. It's different colors. That's being mean to this little bunny because she's a
Yeah.
different type of bunny. And then there was all of that going on. Then we meet the deer more, and he's doing some kind of like mob drama club shit in the drama room or whatever. And he's a fucking racist dick. He's really mean to the goat.
Yeah, yeah,
Just a fucking asshole.
yeah.
And the part that made me laugh is when someone's going for the deer and the wolf stops them. So they hit the wolf instead of the deer. And then they're like, oh, why did you stop me? And the wolf is like, actor safety first. And I was like, what? No one ever says that.
It's the job of the stagehand to ensure the safety of the actors.
Yeah, that's not what a stagehand does. That's the other thing. That's not what a stagehand is for. Anyway, the wolf and the deer, they have this thing. There's a lot of sexual chemistry there. I was feeling the vibes, and I was really into it, even though the deer is a total dick. I felt like if we cast this live action, the deer would be Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
The wolf would be John Krasinski.
Okay.
There's got to be a kiss in there somewhere. I want to
shit.
see that happen. I wrote down, oh my God, this fucking bunny. I can't with her. Oh, yeah. So this bitch, again, a plain ass bitch. Everybody just wears a plain clothes. And so this plain ass bunny is like, I'm so sad. My life sucks. Every guy loves me and wants to protect me and wants me around. They just love me too much. I hate my life. Like, bitch, what? What is your problem? I just couldn't understand that. And she's like, I'm so tired of being a hoe. I want this life to end. Like, what? Oh, what? And that's when she goes to the fountain and the wolf, I guess his spidey senses kick in.
His carnivore tendencies, like, kick in, essentially.
Well, I didn't know if they were implying that the wolf has to werewolf, or if it was his hormones, or is it pretending to be something else, or are we to take it more literally? His instincts. Like, did he just get a boner, or is he really hungry?
I don't totally remember the first season, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be just like his carnivore instincts on like hunting a rabbit. Yeah.
Okay, well, they implied that he had a werewolf thing going on, and I was like, he's a wolf. Why is he werewolfing? How does that work? What is this universe? And the bunny's like, kill me then. I'm such a hoe. And then he grabs the bunny and then I guess tries not to kill her. I didn't know. By the end, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What is this? Because really at the beginning, I was kind of riveted by it. The animation and the music and just wondering what the fuck this was. I was staring in awe of the TV. I was on the edge of my seat. And then by the end, I'm just like, I don't even know what this is. Because you named all of the elements. It's a high school with animal people who kind of act grown.
It's about drama club,
They're
which
in the
you'd totally
drama
be
club.
into.
Yeah, there's a murder happening.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And everybody's got a name that you can't really pronounce. Except Tin, I guess. There's like Legoshi, and I don't know the bunny's name, and there's a lot of like different words that we're not used to. So it's hard to keep people's names and kind of what's happening in that sense at first. And look, I'm high. I don't have my wits about me completely. So there's that added thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's where we end it, is that the wolf captures the bunny, and I didn't know what that was trying to tell me. Because I didn't know if he werewolfed. I didn't know if it was his hormones. I didn't know if he was really motherfucking hungry. I didn't know if he had killed before. It was just weird. And I don't know what's happening. Would I watch a second episode? Yeah, I would.
Okay, all right. I won't spoil it all for you.
How long ago did you watch it?
I think the first season came out a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
I think I've only watched a couple episodes of the second season, so...
You're talking real quiet.
Oh, sorry.
You're like... It gets real quiet, and you, like, spread everything out.
Sorry, I apologize. There's love triangles. There's the black market.
What?
Yeah, there's, I think, a drama performance for a fair or something.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both of these, actually. I expected to like none of them. I expected not to be interested in the slightest. I was going to talk all kinds of shit about it. But I liked it. I really did. I like both of them. Though the second one, Beastars, is insane. But I want to watch it again.
All right, then. Are we on to our next segment?
Certainly.
Things that make you go...
Ooh-wee! What's making you go ooh-wee, Sean?
We watched the first season of The Other Two on HBO Max.
I feel like now we're just still like pop culture TV show podcasts. Lately we're just talking about all of that stuff.
I mean, that's where we're at. I mean, we're still at home watching shows. Really like that it's cooling down.
That was on mine too. The weather is cooling down.
Yeah.
That's one of mine.
Fantastic.
Tomorrow's supposed to be 74.
Fantastic.
So last night we headed out for a drive because we do stay home most of the time. And every once in a while we at least have to go for a drive to get some fresh air. Just get out of the house, see that the world is still functioning. To like not go insane.
Yeah. So we'll do sunset drives or like dark drives before bed sort of.
Yeah, like when it's cool. Like yesterday was pretty warm, so it was only cool around like 9:30, 10 o'clock when we went out. That was really nice, and there was a great breeze that started. So we drove out, and we ended up stopping by the water just to feel the breeze and listen to the sounds and stuff, and the moon looked so pretty.
Yeah, just on this... There's this kind of like pull out next to the lake. It's like feet away from the lake, essentially. So
yes, you can hear the gentle moving
lapping
of the water. And on the other side of the road is a forested area. So you can hear the breeze start through these trees and come your way. And all of the sort of branches and leaves clacking together. The last time we were out there, something was moving around in the woods, and I really thought a little Bigfoot was going to come out. It was so, I was more worried than anything because I was like, my window is totally down. The car is off. If something comes charging out of those woods, we're not getting saved. We're not getting the window up in time.
Well, at least it's a little one.
Sean, a little Bigfoot is still going to be bigger than me and extremely strong.
I didn't know that.
And chances are we're going to smell it way before it gets to us, which is something that will help protect us.
If we're downwind.
Well, yeah. So we were downwind yesterday, which is why I wasn't as worried. And I didn't hear stuff moving around. So it was very relaxing. If I knew I was safe there, I could have set up a little chair and laid down and just spent the night there because the breeze was so wonderful. The sounds of the water and the breeze and the little crickets and stuff was very comforting and soothing to me.
Yeah.
I guess we stayed there for an hour and we didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Because you were looking at the moon with your little telescope.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just closing my eyes and feeling the breeze and listening to all the sounds just in case something moved in the woods. And anyway, on our way home, the whole point of this story was to say that on our way home, we saw an owl.
Oh, yeah.
And, ooh, she was beautiful. Yeah. I think it was just a small barn owl.
Yeah.
It was very more slender than the one that was sitting on the house. Yep. But looking for food, looking all around, sitting on a fence post. And we were able to stop in the road because no one was coming and take some pictures. And it was very exciting. And I got to talk to her and tell her she's beautiful.
Indeed.
And apologize for interrupting her dinner because
yeah,
we had to get a photo. But lovely, lovely. And
absolutely.
I really enjoyed that. So the weather cooling down. What did you say it was going to be on Friday? Tell me again.
I think 68 or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
68. Love it, love it, love it. I don't like small talk, but I'm still talking about the weather.
Much better than 107.
Yeah, which was just last weekend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't really talk about the other two, by the way. I interrupted you, so.
Oh, yeah, the TV show The Other Two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, HBO Max.
Okay.
A new season is starting, I want to say, like, before the end of August.
Oh, okay. Molly Shannon's in it,
Yes.
and it's about the other two are a brother and sister of a Justin Bieber type child
Yeah.
who just happened to get famous.
Chase dreams.
Yes, their mom is played by Molly Shannon, and the other two are trying to find their place in the world and still try to do what they want to do,
Yeah.
and have to kind of, help out or, deal with their suddenly famous brother
Yeah.
and
Try and
mom.
catch the wave.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because one wants to be an actor, and the other one was a dancer, but I don't know what she was. She was just kind of fumbling around in life.
Yeah.
And so it's been fun to watch.
So you can catch up on that before season 2 starts. So we're on to our next segment. No cap.
Do you have any truths you want to discuss?
Catching this wave of low interest rates, doing a refi in the house, you know.
Okay. You just telling everybody now? He can't wait to talk about that.
No, it's just like, I mean, just dealing with all the paperwork and stresses and things of that nature. That's all. What about you, Hailey? What are your truths?
Well, I'm still kind of tripping about the plane crash dreams revelation that I had last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about it since we recorded that episode a week ago.
Oh, wow.
Just the idea that I was somehow being told by the universe or spirit guides or whoever you worship and you want to call it that, somehow being sort of prepped to say, hey, all of the shit is blowing up around you. The plane is going down. It's gonna suck. You're gonna survive, but you will have to make sacrifices and you will have to let people go. Because, like I said, there were different people. It was usually friends of mine on the plane with me. Sometimes it was just me and strangers. Sometimes people were still alive when we hit the water. Yes, we were always over the ocean. We always crashed into the water. That's why the 2 times we've been to Hawaii and the time we went to the UK, I was a fucking wreck. Because I always had these plane crash dreams over the ocean, and we always crashed into the ocean. It was terrifying. Yeah. Plus, I always had Ironic by Alanis Morissette in the back of my head because Jagged Little Pill was very much a huge part of my teenage years.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to that album so many times. And, you know what it says? He wants to go on this plane ride, and he finally does, and then it fucking crashes. And so when I moved to Boston, because I had wanted to move to Boston for so long, when I actually got on the plane to go to Boston, I was like, I'm about to die because I'm finally on the plane.
Thanks, Alanis Morissette.
Alanis haunting me every day. But in my plane crash dreams, I was always the only survivor, but sometimes I was able to help people, either strangers or help my friend sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like I still feel like it was setting me up to say, this is what it feels like, and you will make it through, but it's still going to suck, and it's still going to be really hard to get out of this, and you're not going to be totally okay. You're going to have to give stuff up that you love. People that you love, and it's gonna happen. Like, we're preparing you for this, and that trips me the fuck out. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, that's what dreams are supposed to do, is prepare you for what's to come, to prepare your mind for those sorts of scenarios, so that when they happen, you'll be able to survive them.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy that it took me this long to realize it too.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're talking like...
I mean, you definitely take it more literally, like, plane crashing.
Yeah, I didn't ever put it together until last week. And these dreams started when I was, I'd say, 13 or 14 at the youngest, maybe, on. And I'm fucking 41.
Well, this means you're going to have to analyze the dream where we were flying in that plane and David Hasselhoff was after us, and it crashed, I think in a lake or something. He was chasing us and wanted to eat us.
Oh, God. I vaguely remember that one. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. You know what another nightmare I had? David Spade wanted to get with me. David Spade wanted to make out with me. And I was not okay. I was very creeped out. No, I don't. It was really, it was
Sometimes
really
a nightmare's a nightmare.
I guess so. Also, I went to the chiropractor for the first time since I was a kid. Like, since I was 8 or 9, I think was the last time I went.
Oh, yeah.
So I finally got to go to one last week, and it went really well. I was nervous, but this doctor is a kind person that I've been following on Instagram for a while, and I know that she is body positive, she's Haze informed, she's trauma informed, and there's so many things about like the nervous system and that sort of survival mode and all of these other things. Your spine affects a lot of your body, and you don't really think about that. Just like people don't think about your thyroid running so much of your body. It has a hand in so many things.
I mean, your entire nervous system runs through your spine.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought, it might be helpful.
Yeah.
And boy, did she do some adjustments. The whole assessment thing was really easy. I did post about my experience on my blog, Instagram, Divine Mrs. Diva. So if you want to see that, there's an IGTV there where I talk about my experience. But it went really well. Crack-a-lack. I was a little Rice Krispie. And I'm so happy that she got things to pop that have been messed up for a long time. And I was swollen. I've had a headache almost every day since then. But I think in the end, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be all nice and tall. And I felt a little lighter than before. I guess one of my hips was higher than the other one. I was having all kinds of issues, I guess. Right now, I'm a D student, according to the assessment. Like 1 out of 100, I was 63. That's not okay, because I wanted to always be like 102 on my test. No 63. Anything less than 92 was like loserville to me. So if I can't ace it and A++ it, we got an issue. So I'm trying to take this 63 back to a 99 back. She says nobody's 100. I'm going to be 99. I'm going to be the first 100 patient she's ever had. So we're going to see what we can do about that. But I'm really happy I went. Yeah. And I'm excited to keep going back. I got to go see her every week for right now. But I'm so happy so this is the best doctor appointment I've ever had in my life, because she was nice to me. She listened to me. She respected me. She didn't write off anything because I'm fat. She didn't tell me, oh, well, your neck hurts, just lose weight, you'll be fine. Because that's what a lot of doctors do to people. They're very dismissive. There's so many doctors who won't even listen to my experience. I have to explain everything. And they still want to call me a liar to my face, that I don't even know my own body, just because I'm fat. And so it's really fucking annoying. And it's actually super harmful. It kills people, this attitude that doctors have towards fat people. And it was so nice to be heard and seen. And when you have a really great appointment like that, it's also really upsetting because you remember all the crappy appointments and all of the traumatic things. I had a really traumatic doctor's appointment when I was 17, which is why really where all of this kind of nervousness and anxiety about doctors stems from, because of this really, really awful appointment I had. And I had to relive that in my head. Like I could see it all happening to me again. And it was really, really upsetting. But it's also really nice to, like with her assessment, I told her where I was hurting and the kind of issues that I have. She did the assessment and it proved, like everything that I talked about, that's where everything lit up. And to have that kind of validation that I know my body well enough to know exactly where things are messed up is also really comforting to me, to have that kind of validation. And the whole blood pressure thing, because I'm very nervous at doctor's appointments and my blood pressure is always high at doctor's appointments because I'm fucking nervous. I want to run. I want to punch everybody and run. That's how I feel whenever I have to go to the doctor. And therefore, my blood pressure is high. Well, because I'm fat, they expect me to have a high blood pressure. And so if I tell them I take it at home and it was normal at home, here's what it was at home, they don't believe me because my blood pressure is high at their office and I'm fat. Yep. And so they'll tell me, well, I don't think you did it right. I don't think you did your blood pressure correctly at home if it was normal. Yeah. That's what they've told me to my face. Yeah. And that's very frustrating because they make me feel like I'm some kind of ticking time bomb that's about to die at any moment just because I'm fat. When I've told them I'm already terrified to be here. The cuff doesn't fit my arm well. It's coming apart. It's getting too tight. You're doing it wrong. On top of everything else. Yeah. Anyway, my blood pressure was normal at her office. And it also makes me think that, well, my anxiety about the doctor is in my head. It's about the way they're going to treat me. I worry about how they're going to treat me. That's part of the anxiety. Yeah. With her, I knew that she wasn't going to blame stuff on my body. I knew that she wasn't going to treat me that way. So I wasn't scared in the same way. Yeah. And my blood pressure was fine. It was normal. But that also tells me that maybe I can get to a point where I don't have that anxiety anymore. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I can get it down. Like, we can try to fix it, you know?
Well, I felt like, also like when we went to your endo, when you had the same gentleman nurse.
Oh yeah,
with
Steve.
all those visits, I think you got to a comfortable level there, and we're getting good readings and stuff. And then she changed up nurses. And,
that's true.
And stuff. And
I don't like the vibe of the new nurse.
Yeah.
And she tried to pull that weight loss talk and assigned a value to weight loss, and that pissed me off. I didn't like the vibe of her anyway. Not that she's been mean. It's just, I don't like her vibe. Steve, I fucking loved Steve. He was so nice. He reminded me a little bit of Vince Vaughn, who I used to have a big crush on. He was very tall, and he was just nice. Yeah. He was just kind. Yeah. And he was very respectful and cool. Like, it's not comfortable to tell a man nurse when your last period was. And all of this kind of stuff. But he made it okay. Like, I didn't feel weird.
Yeah, true.
I really liked him. And then, they changed it up and I didn't see him again. I didn't even get to tell him bye. But I'm hoping I can get to a point where I'm not as nervous.
Yeah, yep.
Going in. Yeah. But I need to find doctors that don't make me feel like that. Yeah. So, that is part of the problem. It is a challenge. Indeed. For sure. Thank you for listening, everybody. I appreciate having this segment where I can just talk. I don't expect you to be my therapist, but we are friends, so we're going to chit-chat from time to time, and I'm glad to have that outlet, quite frankly. Well, you guys, I am excited for next week.
Maybe season 2 we'll have to splurge and get the upgraded version of Descript so you can edit out all my likes automatically.
Oh, man, y'all.
Like when it's like this and like that happens and like
he says like a lot, and I'm
sure at least when I'm not high.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some places where you can hear him do that, but for the most part, I do try to cut out the extensive ones. Whenever there's a lot of extra ones, I try to cut those out. But I edit it for you, so I make it a little bit better. So if you still don't like what it sounds like, it's my fault. So you can write me about it. Just FYI. If you don't like the topics, that's Sean's fault. You can message him about it.
Indeed.
All right, well, all the end credits. You can follow us on Instagram. You can email us with topic ideas or anything you want to add to anything we've talked about.
Just visit HaileyHatesEverything.com. You can find the links to everything there.
Yeah, anytime we post some extra pictures, which I feel like some of these things we should be adding pictures to the website. We haven't been doing that.
That's true.
You can find some of the extra pictures, like the ghost photo and things like that we posted on Instagram. We're going to have to add it to the website. But we do have a website, HaileyHatesEverything.com. You can listen to the podcast there. You can get all the links to all the different platforms. You can see the extra photos. You can get all the links to videos we watch and everything like that. It's all there. You can also get to my blog. You can follow me on Instagram as well. And all that good stuff. So please let us hear from you. Let us know you like the podcast. If you're listening on a platform that does reviews, please give us a 5-star review. We would love that. I haven't checked on Apple in a while. I'm going to have to do it. So if you're on Apple, get that 5-star review in. We're going to read it on the air. So say something cool. Thank you for
Yes.
listening. We really,
Thank you.
really appreciate it. I hope that you've enjoyed this one. We look forward to hanging out with you again. And we hope you look forward hanging out with us. I hate to say goodbye, but we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.